Hello everybody. Now, you see, I am not your usual SFR commentator. I believe I'm not even the main GP4 commentator, but I am JDM, and welcome to SFR GP4 Hungary. 11, possibly 12 drivers today as we start qualifying. 14 minutes. Done with the current fastest lap. Apologies for that. Is that Biff or Maggie's round? Maggie is obviously spun round. Right, behind him Vicar moving out the way for Biff, that was. Just loading and approaching at a rate of knots an hour. 56.3 in the final sector. Sorry, second sector. For just loading. We'll go on board with him for the rest of this lap. See what we can do. Into the final bend. Fourth gear. Instantly back on full throttle. Goes a bit wider. Wider than he would have liked, but P4 for Gizelodian. So obviously currently we have Dan in first, followed by MCFC, Felix, Gizelodian, Biff and Kilbert. Next to set a lap will be Mark, I believe. So let's see what he can do. Round the final bend, into third gear, back on the throttle. Nice and easy on the exit. P7. Now onto Mr. Wiggles. Where does Mr. Wiggles go? Up to the line. P3. Brilliant lap from Mr. Wiggles there. Vicar, the next one to finish his lap. So we watch nice and easy on the throttle, nice and easy on the steering in sector 2. Through the little air section. Not much ERS left to play with for Vicar here as we head down into the final two corners of this qualifying lap. Heading down, round to the penultimate corner, second gear, back on the throttle as quick as you can in that corner and onto the final turn. Third gear into there and back on the throttle as he goes up to the line. Nice and a good exit there. P7, and I know I've missed that. That was Felix spinning, I believe that was. Going quite wide there on the exit of 10.5, I believe. Or 10.4, one of the two. Next set of lap then will be Lewis, so we'll go with him for this lap. Into turn 1, second gear, nice and easy on the power, DRS open, as he flies down towards turn 2, on the brakes into turn 2, third gear, second gear, up on the throttle once more into turn 3, down the hill, up the gears, into turn 4, back up the hill. Not very heavy braking, couple downshifts, maybe one or two into turn 4. So he heads through into turn 5, third gear, back on the throttle, lift off slightly, and on the power he goes into turn 6, 7, little pip half chicane, and you accelerate all the way back up, maybe just trying to get into 6th gear, just absolutely on the edge. So he goes wide, that's not invalid there, quite lucky from Lewis there. So he heads down into the final sector of this qualifying lap. Moving out the way there is Vicar, sorry, into the penultimate turn. Third gear, just dropping down into second, 60 miles per hour through there. I believe this is turn 14, we'll go on board with him just till the end. Third gear, lifts off ever so slightly, he has to lift off there, doesn't want to go over track limits. And up to the line, it's a 1:19.717 for Lewis. First one to set a lap then out of this new kerfuffle coming out is MCFC. So your current top 10. Oh no, I'm very sorry, I missed Maggie there. Maggie into turn 5. Turn 6, 7. Turn 8. Fourth gear, turn 9, really close to the apex there, staying in fourth gear, really close there. into turn 10, turn 11, I believe this is. Actually not using his ERS, so this must obviously be a banker lap into turn 12, I believe. And down the gears into second, instantly back on the power, as easy as it can go. Fourth gear through the final turn and up to the line. Where will this lap put Maggi? P8. Now the next driver to finish their lap will be MCFC, I believe. Purple sector 1. Oh, that is heartbreaking for M2. MCFC, that is just too much on the limit. So following that, the next driver to set a lap will not be Lewis, it will be Kilbert, I believe. If I'm wrong, someone please do correct me. Yeah, I believe it is Kilbert. Number 2 on the Rebel. It's a beautiful combination, I must say. It looks very nice. Through to turn 7, through turn 8, fourth gear. Whoa, that was close there. Into turn 8, turn 9, sorry, turn 10, turn 11. Oh, that's really wide. That is not invalid though. Wow, that's lucky from Kilbert. Now into turn 12. Shifting up mid-corner into third gear. Short shifting here, really key if you're on medium traction. Heading down through second gear into the final turn, just about fifth gear. Quite wide, staying really far from the apex curve there. And up to the line, where will he go? Stays P9. Now, next driver to finish a lap will be Biff in the Alpine. Fourth gear, does he stay fourth gear? Yes he does, up to the line, where will Biff go? Stays P6, what about Gisolodian? Where can Gisolodian improve to? P4. Felix out on the mediums. If I'm not mistaken, he set his first lap on the softs, so I don't know what this is about. Number 2 on the Alpha as well. Sorry, MTFC now on another lap. Really low on fuel, so he's really going to have to make this count. Oh, MC spun. Oh. MCFC spun. Will he stay out the way in time for Felix? No, he doesn't. He comes off the track, but just about he moves over. Kilbert invalidating his lap. So we're just going to see if Felix... He's improving on the mediums. That's a very good sign there. Down into the final turn. Third gear, just under 100 miles per hour. Goes a little bit wide, trying to use all the track he can. Stays P5. Less than a attempt down on the soft tyre lap though, so that is really good. Right, here comes the train. Here comes the train. Here they all come. So out on track now. Are they fighting for position? If I'm not mistaken, it looks like they're on the map. Apologies for that. Oh, there's a spin. Is that a spin? What was that? Oh, open turn. I don't believe it was a spin. No. Is Felix going again? Bit lucky there. I don't know if that's me or Felix. Hopefully not me. We'll have to see. Is Felix going again? He might do. I don't think he is though. No. It's second down. So the first driver to set a lap here will be Maggi, I believe. Now, if I were Felix, what I would do is box and get another set of softs on and come out with about 3 minutes to go. I would personally say at least. Now, I'm going to stay on board with Maggi, Alpine style, I believe that is. Now, on board with Maggi for this lap, flying down the main straight and into turn 1, slight downhill there. And someone is, sorry, no, Felix has stayed out. Yeah, Felix has stayed out. Have a look to see if Felix is improving. I don't think he will be. No, 6 tenths down. So we're going back on board to Maggi. Maggi 6 tenths up. Complete opposite of Felix there. Sector 1 is purple for Maggi. Fastest sector 1. Where will this lap put Maggi? As Mr. Wiggles has spun round in turn 4. Stays out the way for Vicar, I believe that is. Now back on board with Maggi. Where will sector 2? Sorry, what will sector 2 be for Maggi? He rounds turn 11. 1.4 seconds up. Purple sector 2 for Maggi. Could this be the lap which puts Maggi on pole position? Maggi down into second gear, down into turn 13, up the gears once more for the final time, into turn 14, the final turn, on the throttle for one last time this lap, on the gears, up the gears, on the DRS open, pole for Maggi! By 5 thousandths of a second! But Dan, he's a 10th up, Dan's improving! Where will Dan go here? This is so close between the two! On the gears, up the gears for one last time. Dan takes pole back by just under a 10th of a second. Wowzers! This is really close between the two. Now Vicar went P6 on his lap. 6 tenths up. I believe he already was P6, so I don't know. Now Felix here has stayed out. Unusually, you think he probably would have pitted? Surely he'll pit at the end of this lap. He can still pit and get out in time. More drivers coming out now for their laps though. Kilbert out on his out lap. Mark Curti out on his out lap. And EKG out on his out lap. So we'll have to see, what will Felix do? That is the main question of the night now, folks. What will Felix do? Will he pit? Yes, he does. Oh, nearly into the wall there. If he had any more understeer, I think that would have been in the wall, most definitely. Now, begs the question, what will the other drivers do? Are they going to have enough time to get in and get out? I don't think that some of them will. It'll be really close. As Maggi has retired. Maggi's retired in the pit lane. So, good on Maggi for not retiring on track. So, first driver to set their lap will be EKG. So, we'll stay on board with him for this lap. Only 3 on their actual laps now. So, we'll have to see what he can do. That bug really annoys me. It says they're on a lap when they're still on their out laps, but whatever. Down into third gear, just on the cusp there. Up the gears into turn 2. Down into third gear. Will he go to second? No, he went back on the throttle and up the gears for one last time in sector 1. Up to the sector 1 line. Where will this put EKG? 7,000 down. This will be really close here. Oh, nearly losing the rear there, does EKG. Up turn 5, will he lose it again? No, he doesn't. Keep his car in control. Into turn 6, 7, third gear. Does he keep his stick? Yes, he does. Beautiful line through there. Just hopping over the curbs. Into turn 8 here. 5th gear. Into turn 9, 4th gear. Back up the gears. Into turn 9, sorry. Into turn 10. Or turn 11, I don't know. Oh, EKG nearly loses the rear again. Purple sector 2. For EKG, this lap could be crucial for him. Last laps of the session, and it is all go for all these drivers here. Some drivers won't make the flight. Giselodian is out of the session. Vicar is out. EKG pits. So third will be EKG's best chance here. Next to finish that lap, Mr. Wiggles, I believe. No, Kilbert. 4 tenths up. Staying quite clear of the apex curb there. And back onto the throttle. Kilbert stays P9, only 3 tenths up. Back on board with Mr. Wiggles now. Where will he go? Onto 5th gear, 6th gear. Stays P4. So was that even a lap? I think that was. Biff invalidates, saving the rest of his ERS back up, I believe. So he can't have invalidated that long ago. Now, this begs the question, will Felix, will he make the flag? "14 seconds. This is going to be cutting it really close here. For Felix, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, makes it 3 seconds to spare. Well, that was close. Who's going to be first to finish that lap then? So your provisional grid is Dan, Maggi, EKG, Mr. Wiggles. That's only the provisional grid though. Kilbert first to finish his lap, I believe. No, Kilbert, that is so unlucky. Kilbert spins round, so back on board with Mr. Wiggles. He's got purple sensor, so what is going on? Everyone sensor. Track evolution and low fuel is really key now. Into the final turn, where will Mr. Wiggles go? Oh, really close to the wall there. On the throttle one last time. Where will he go? P3. Who is next to Santana? Lewis stays out, doesn't pit. Lewis on the throttle. Oh, that is so lucky to not have validated that. P9 for the Haas driver. Now Mark into the final turn. Where will he go? Stays P11. Felix spins round. Oh, he made it with 3 seconds to go. It would have been such a good lap. He would have had the best ever track conditions. He just made the flag. But no, it's all gone away. Spinning round at 10:11 and it's all gone away in one blink of an eye. Felix takes the flag. So this will be your grid. On pole, we have... Oh, I can't even see it now. Okay. I know the top four. Right, on pole, we have Dan. Second place, Maggi. Brilliant qualifying from the two of them. Third and fourth, we have Mr. Wiggles and EKG. Fifth and sixth on the third row of the grid, we have Giselodian and Vicar. Seventh and eighth on the fourth row of the grid, we have Biff and Felix. And on the final two rows, we have Lewis, Kilbert and Mark. So, look at that gap. That is so close to seeing the three. Just 2 tenths separating the top three here. That was a very good qualifying. Now, will it rain? Will it rain? That is the question. Looks really overcast here in Hungary. Sorry, in Hungary. Looks really overcast. It could be raining towards the end of the race. If anyone from GP4 is actually watching, could you just let me know, is it going to rain? Or is it going to get clearer and drier? Hello Lennon. Welcome to GP4. Well, we've not got much to do, so I guess a general conversation could be helping. Good. Waiting for the formation lap to get underway. Let's hope we can get it started sooner rather than later. I believe we're not going to ready up for another minute or so, but I will confirm that sooner or later for you. There we go then. In the final 30 seconds before the start of the race. Well, start formation lap, start of the race. It's really the same thing. Here we go then, finally getting on the grid. Been sat in the pit lane for so long, I thought we were going to be a pit crew member. I've also just noticed drivers are using number 23, which is like really confusing me. I don't know how they've got it, but they have, so I'm not going to question it. I know that one of the GP1 drivers uses it somehow. So the tyre array. Only one driver starting on the softs, Giselodian. So he's going for the alternate strategy here. But every other driver starting on the medium, so maybe it will rain later into the race. Just maybe. So, everyone bar Giselodian on the medium tyres. So this actually gives Giselodian a very, very good opportunity to be leading this race within the first few laps. These softs are going to rub it in faster, a lot faster than the medium tyres. Obviously less grip on the soft tyres compared to the mediums, so the softs are going to be a lot more quicker at the start. But Giselodian going for the alternate strategy, just trying to make anything work out here. So we go back on board with Dan, seeing what he will do for the start. Everyone getting ready to line back up on the grid. Drivers taking their positions. Dan facing ever so slightly to the wall. What will Maggi do? Faces Dan. Mr. Wiggles disqualified. EKG facing the wall. Giselodian disqualified. Vicker facing forward. Biff facing forward. Felix facing forward. Lewis disqualified. And Kilbert facing forward. And what was that then? I don't know. Oh, I got the back camera. Any good driver? Right then, here we go for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. I've not got a very good angle. There we go. Maggi with brilliant start. Maggi up into first already. What a start from Maggi. Behind them, 4 wide nearly as they enter the first turn. Maggi into the lead. Biff fighting for third with Mr. Wiggles, who will come out in front here. Biff doesn't make the move, still round the outside. EKG's been swallowed up by the pack, 4th to 6th in just a few turns. Oh, that was a little bit dirty there. A good move nonetheless. But 8 attempts already to Dan. Maggi with a brilliant start, losing out in the rest of the first sector. Maggi really under pressure now from Wiggles, EKG and Biff. Everyone is going to be going for anything at the end of this first lap. But I was wrong here. Giselodian has had a terrible getaway. So he goes wide, there's Lewis. Lewis round. Is there any damage for the Haas? And he's round again. I don't believe there's any damage, but he won't be able to get this try. Oh, so he will. Take it back. No damage for the Haas, I believe. So he gets going once again. But look at this, Dan, an absolute dominant performance. He's already 8 tenths ahead, 9 tenths. This is an absolute dominant performance here, and it's only the end of lap 1. But yeah, we'll have to see what will happen to Giselodian, because his tyres really have not rubbed in very fast, have they? Now Maggi just trying anything he can just to get this position back. He was leading and he wants that lead back. Current position change, top 4 as it stands. Felix stays in the same position. Lewis down 2, Mark Gilbert both up 1, and the highest gaining so far is Biff up 2. So that's Lewis spun round again. Oh, he's gone again. This race for the Haas driver goes from bad to worse. Oh, he's gone again. This race for the young Haas driver really is going from bad to worse. Gets going once more. He's going to have to go quite slowly just to try and take care of these tyres. Still no damage with the Haas, I believe, but he's gone again. Maggi with the fastest lap at the front. DRS finally enabled in this race. Sector 2 yellow flags, still the yellow flags are out as Lewis is able to get going again. So Maggi is your current fastest lap holder, 2 seconds faster than Dan. Maggi is on a rampage right now. He's noticed that the gap has been slowly decreasing and he wants it back. But that was a terrible exit, terrible from Maggi there. He stuck really tight to the apex and that did not help him. So he's just lost more time than what he gained. Still within the magical 1 second though, so he only needs to stick within 2 cents of Dan here, and he will get this win. Well, sorry, not the win, the DRS, but he's losing more time. He's losing with time in sector 2. This is Maggi's weak spot. 1.1 seconds. Dan has the advantage over Maggi. Maggi will not be getting the DRS. That is Mr. Wiggles round. Mr. Wiggles is round and he's off the track. Lewis has retired in the pit lane and has left the session. So now Biff is still the highest position gainer with 3 positions. He could still yet get MCFC. But no DRS for the likes of Maggi and MCFC. So they are going to be powerless in defence of the hot pursuing Biff, Giselodian and Vicar. We just await to see what's going to happen. Biff still without DRS though. So Giselodian could still be getting back into a podium spot. But what a race from Biff so far though. Up 3 positions in this lap 4. This trajectory could be something to worry about at the end of the race. EKG nearly losing it again. That enables Biff and Giselodian to both catch back up. Giselodian purple sector 1. Soft tyres working an absolute treat for him now that they've rubbed it in. 3 tenths of gap. He could get past this lap, but it is too risky. If he wants the DRS, he's going to have to just sit behind patiently. Sit behind the RP nice and patiently until turn 14. He wants the DRS, he has to sit behind him and just wait. 1.7 seconds. Biff really loses out in sector 2. Phil settling down quite a fair bit more. 3 tenths of gap from Biff and Giselodian now, so we will see what the drivers can do. DRS for Giselodian and Vicar. Will Biff be powerless to defend? Using everything and anything he's got. If he can find something in reserve, something just pulling out of the pockets, he will absolutely take that. He needs anything and absolutely anything just to defend from Giselodian right now. Giselodian on an absolute rampage, it seems. So, 31 more laps to go, I believe. If I'm not, please do correct me. Biff loses more time there. I think Giselodian just a bit wide there. Felix with a 3 second. Giselodian nowhere near as close as he was. Vicar is more close than what Giselodian is right now, so Vicar has had the better of sector 1-2 this lap, but we will just await and see who will go where. So your current gap to the leader right now, furthest away is Mr. Wiggles, 19.0. As we see who's going to get past who. Biff has caught up to MCFC. So this will really help Biff here. But just loading is much later on the brakes than what Biff is. 3 tenths the gap. This could be the lap. The pair of them both catching up to EKG here. EKG really struggling now. He's got all 4 drivers on an absolute charge behind him. Maggi just in the foreground of your picture there. Just gone past us. Now, I believe position 3 to position 6, they're all separated by just about 1.5 seconds here. So this is really close. This battle is really heating up to be a nice one, folks. So, stay tuned. Biff really wise, he has to give back some of that time. He gained just ever so slightly a bit more time to just load in. I believe he will be obliged to give at least some of that back. I believe the current fastest lap holder is still Maggi, and it is. So we will see who can do what now. Just loading and definitely the closest out of this little train. But this is what's helping Biff here, is EKG's DRS. Because this is what is stopping him get past. This is what Biff needed, and this is what Biff's got. Well, I don't think there'll be any overtakes in this sector, so we'll just sit back and see what happens. Just loading ever so slightly wide in turn 11, now down into turn 12 and up the gears into turn 13. Lap 7 out of 35. I believe after this one there'll be 28 more laps. If I am wrong, someone please do correct me. I will happily accept it. But look at Biff. I'm sorry, I completely missed this. Look at Biff. Biff, will he be able to make the move on EKG? Really late on the brakes goes Biff. EKG sticking to the apex, but Biff, will he get a switch back? Yes, he does. What a move from Biff in the Alpine. EKG reading in Swans now. Will he be able to stick with Biff though? Because Jesselodian is now gaining Mr. Wiggles and Mark Quercy there. Will Mark Quercy be able to get Mr. Wiggles back? They're fighting, absolutely scrapping out down into turn 2. Oh, that was close there, that was. But look at this battle. This is a beautiful battle for third place. Do you know what? I don't think I haven't actually seen a battle this good in quite a decent while in GP4. I mean, I haven't done many comm sessions for them. But look at Dan. 2.5 seconds ahead and it's only lap 9. This guy is a very good driver, I would personally say. Now, what will EKG be able to do? Will he be able to get Dan back? Sorry, not Dan, Biff, sorry. Just have a look at the tyre wear here. Just loading it, has kept his tyres in good condition by the looks of things. Kilbert with a penalty, so currently penalty. 3 seconds and 3 seconds for Felix and Kilbert. Biff wide there in turn 11. Biff really wide there. Will EKG be able to scrap back down on the main straight? That is really going to hurt Biff's performances. Maybe even in the rest of sector 3 as well. Now Biff with a much better exit than EKG, but he hasn't got enough ERS. He's barely got any ERS. Will EKG be brave enough to send it back down the inside? No, he won't. Biff really just ever so slowly wide there. Closest gap, sorry, not gap. Yeah, there's not much really to say in sector 2. I mean, not much going on. Now back onto the main straight we go. Gislodian's lost his ERS. Gislodian's into the pits. Now, what tyres will Gislodian go on? Have a quick look, will EKG be able to get back past? Both of them out with ERS. Vicar is the only one in that little battle with enough ERS. Gislodian onto the medium tyres. Will he be able to stretch them to the end of the race? That is a huge possibility here. But EKG and Biff really scrapping it out here. They both want this podium. Now, if I were one of these two drive, EKG, sorry, cuts some of turn 3 and gets a penalty for it. Felix with another penalty, and Billy's third. EKG just hit him, and Gislodian's round as well. Gislodian and EKG both round at the same time. EKG, he can't get the car back the right way. Finally gets the car back the right way. But this is going to be really close here with Gilbert and Mr. Wiggles. EKG spins round again. Terrible luck now for the McLaren driver. He had such a good start, but it's all gone to waste now. Mark gets back past him, but look at this. Look at Mr. Wiggles and Gilbert. Mr. Wiggles round the outside. Contact there, contact. Now Mr. Wiggles has to go off there to bring even more contact. I would personally say Mr. Wiggles has done again. Oh, the drama and the scenes we're seeing in the Hungary tonight. EKG's gone round once more. The drama and the absolute scenes we're seeing in the Hungary tonight. That only proves that what is left. Is that... What on earth, mate? I'm so confused. I mean, there's not much really to commentate on right now. Now that everyone's just nice and spaced out across the track. I mean, you got one car in only turn 2, whereas the leader is in turn 1. Biff gets another 3-second. Will Mr. oh goodness me. I'm really sorry I'm messing up these names, guys. Will Vicar be able to get back past? Oh, I'm very sorry, I've missed this. Just loading, and Mark, 2 tenths separating them. Oh, just loading in. Now, just loading, easily going to get past Mark here. On the main straight. I say easily, not looking very easy right now. Both of them using everything they've got. Now, surely, just loading would be able to get past and back around the outside of Maggi, and they're all so close to contact there. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't know. I got a terrible off-board camera. Whoa, EKG on the hard tyres. What a lap. That's only 7 thousandths quicker than Maggi, so we'll have a look what Maggi and Dan can eventually do later on in the race. But now, just loading will be ever hunting down on the Alfa Romeo of Mr. Wiggles. Both of them having spins early on in the race and getting terrible luck. So I would personally say the two are most definitely out of position. But yeah, there's not really many gaps right now, so the only thing we have to do right now is just patiently wait for penalties, or just patiently wait for a driver to hunt someone else down. EKG with another fastest lap though, he's absolutely on fire on the hard tyres. Oh, Felix is into the pits. So here come the first round of pit stops then. Nice and slow entry, just making sure that you don't wanna get a penalty. It could be race ending if you do. Pulls into his pit box. Hard tyres go on the Alfa Romeo. And he's out. Kilbert and Mr. Wiggles in. Could this have been a perfect strategy call? Mr. Wiggles gets a 5-second penalty. If I'm not mistaken, he was slow enough. I believe he was slow enough. Oh, and he's been held up. His pit crew held up. Just Lodia and obviously catching up a lot now to Felix. Maggi and Dan are into the pits now. Have a look what tyres would Dan go on to. Hards for Dan, hards for Maggi. What about Biff and Vicar? They will both go onto the hard tyres if I'm not mistaken. Biff gets held up. Onto the hards. Vicar onto the hards. Will this be enough? No, it won't, but the gap has decreased ever so slightly. It's go, back out the pit lane. They've not lost any positions, the top 4 haven't. So, what will this be? Because it was ever so close in the pit lane there. Sorry, was that a spin from Mr. Wiggles there? Must have nearly been. Now, Mark, where will he go? Onto the hard tyres. Where will he come out? believe he'll just come back out in last again. EKG is still your SFR fastest lap holder. Felix and Vicky here. Vic has lost out to Biff. He's lost a lot of time in this little one lap. Oh, I'm so sorry, I've missed that. Wiggles getting the move done on Kilbert, sorry, not Maggi. Just loading, gaining back up now, so this 4x5, the P3 could still yet resume. Otherwise else, I think this is going to be a pretty lonely race for top 6. I mean, it is a 13-second gap, so really a lonely race for the top 2. And then 3 to 6. Now we'll see what any and every driver can do. What everyone needs towards the end, I would say, is a safety car. Because then they can all get a fresh set of softs on, the fields all bunched back up, Wiggles can get rid of his 5-sec, and it's all fair game. It's all fair game and go to the line. But Vico losing more time. Now, I reckon just loading will get Felix here. Onto the grass! It's fine, good start, I will get you on the grass. But Felix wide, just loading has to go wide to avoid the contact. That is super unlucky from just loading there. I would personally say sole blame lies on Felix there. I wouldn't say it's worthy of a penalty, but he did squeeze him a little bit and then went a bit wide. I wouldn't say sole blame lies on fully on him though. Kilbert really wide there in turn 2. This could enable EKG to have a brilliant exit and the run up to turn 4-5. Wiggles with a 3-second time penalty now, so the only drivers without penalties are Mark, just Lodian, Vicar, and Maggie and Dan. BK just going for the weave without the DRS. Will he make a stick? Just Lodian went wide in turn 9. Is that turn 9? Turn 11, sorry. But Kilbert will now have the DRS, so will Kilbert be able to strike back at EKG? His loading catches back up to Felix here. The track changes, I would say, to the Hungary ring. Instead of having this little piff-paff bit here, we have turn 1 stays the same, but instead of it going, it's a full straight, and it goes into another sort of turn 1 kind of thing, just the opposite way. So then it goes all the way around and links back up to the exit of turn 5. Get rid of a little chicane. And turn 8, we have it a straight line, another DRS zone. We have it like a Baku first turn. Then we have sort of like a Baku sector 1 section. And then we just have some little S-bends. Like it's, let's say, Kota, except they're a bit smaller. Kilbert with another 3-second now, and they link back up to turn 12. Maybe it's feasible, maybe it's not, but it's my imagination. Well, there's not really much to do now. Everyone's under above a second of each other. So there's not really much to wait for. It's a bit of a procession now. Just staring at the dots on the map and aimlessly hoping that someone will catch up to someone. absolutely broken, so we'll just have to wait and see. Is that going to update, or is it just a bit of a glitched cap? Yeah, it was just a glitched cap. Just loading's mediums must be really this struggling now. I believe he's been on them for most of the race. Can have a look here. I've clicked off. When did Just Loading pit? Lap 10. So Just Loading has been on these tyres for about 15 and a bit laps now. These are all your pit stops so far. Most of them within the same range of each other. 2.2, 2.5, 2.5, etc. But once everything becomes like all spaced out, it's really just a procession race to the end. Or you just pray that somebody has just pulled something out the bag or out the pocket and just absolutely gained like a madman. Just loading into the pits. 16 laps on those tyres were enough for young Giselodian. Now, will Giselodian lose the place to Wiggles? That is the question. Giselodian back onto the medium tyres. Sorry, onto the softs! Wow. Now, Wiggles. Will he overtake Giselodian? Will he make it? Will he not? Yes, he does. Now, Giselodian losing the position to Wiggles. He has 23 seconds to gain if he wants anything at a chance higher than P6 here. Sorry, a place higher. EKG, I believe, is still the fastest lap holder on the hard tyres. So he's done a very good job on these hards. Oh, we did get it. Giselodian did get the DRS. Fresh soft tyre versus worn hards for Mr. Wiggles. Again, we'll just have a look when Mr. Wiggles pit, because then we can determine, obviously, the hards. Were they good? Were they bad? So lap 15, Mr. Wiggles pit. So I believe that's 12 laps, I believe, on these hards. 11 laps. Now, will Giselodian be impatient and greedy and just go for the move whenever he can if he wants a chance at some more big positions here? There's a lot to gain, so we'll need to pray that the drivers ahead make mistakes. Person who's been on the hards for the longest, EKG here. Now, has he really been on them for the longest, or is that down to a factor of different reasons? Just loading wide there in turn 12. Back into turn 13 and into the final turn. Slowly but surely. Now, we'll just load and use everything and anything he's got just to get the move done on Mr. Wiggles. Mr. Wiggles defensive to the inside, just loading back to the outside. If one alpha didn't work, try it on the other. That's what Giselodian's thinking right now. Still side by side. And now, can Nickelodeon do it? He's got 21.2 seconds to gain and it is rapidly decreasing. These soft tyres will be an absolute pleasure to drive against the one hards of the likes of Felix and Vicar. Nickelodeon has a long ERS round to play with as well, but he is losing the time. Apologies for that, folks. I have noticed what's gone on, don't worry. I believe Mark got a penalty, and I know they're just loading the fastest lap. So you can see it right here. That is just absolutely marginal on EKG's lap. So what did EKG put out the bag to set a lap like that? On the hard wall tyres. It's brilliant, stonking lap. I leave the gap just ever so slightly decreasing. He won't do it. Nickelodeon will not do it. Maybe it was for tyre wear, maybe it was strategy. But thus far, we wait and see. I mean, there's no one on the second of anyone anymore. It's just a bit of a procession now, isn't it? Now, Mark has been lapped, I believe. He has. Interesting. Then we could see one of those things they do in practice, and little audio up labs, Nickelodeon. But I think we could do, to be fair. I mean, there's not much going on right now, so audio up for the rest of the set. I take that back. Felix with no penalty. Audio up for the rest of the set, I suppose. We'll see if Felix here can get Vicar. It won't matter in the end with the penalty, so Felix can just afford to stick behind for the final few laps and just make this stick. EKG with a penalty now. This isn't done. Hang on. Okay, it's working. But thus far, this has been an absolutely commanding race from Dan. There's still 2 laps to go, 2.5 laps to go, so anything could still yet happen. For all we know, Dan could spin, and so could Maggi, and Biff could win the race. Dan could spin and hit Maggi. Again, Biff would be the winner in that scenario. We're going to have a look at what Felix can do on Vicar. Will Felix be able to get Vicar? 5 tenths gap. I've noticed personally that the DRS around Hungary is not very strong. Maggi with a penalty. Maggi with the first penalty of the race for him. And for Mercedes, as a matter of fact. 2 laps to go now. Dan will lap Gilbert in the end. But behind him, there he is. Very intimidating. There we go. Magical ghosting. Sorry, personally, sir. And it's given Dan DRS. As he starts the final lap, this will be the last time DRS is used for a driver. Unless you are Felix. Felix will have the last part of the cherry in this race, I believe. Now, will Felix be able to get Vicar? He's got 1 last lap to do it. He won't get it in the end, but every position on track counts, as anything could still happen. But just, what a commanding race from Dan. He's led every lap, got on pole position. So this has been an absolutely commanding race. Maggi as well. Leads into turn 1, loses the leads, but to stay in second is a very, very good result. As, Felix! Felix is out of fuel! Oh no! Gisselodian can still get him! Gisselodian and Wiggles, they can still get him! What an end to this race! All we've got to do is get 9 seconds, and that is going to be so easy. This race has gone down to the wire. This is going to be so close. Oh, I'm so sorry. Dan is your winner in Hungary. Maggi P2, Biff P3, Vicar P4. But now we just need to wait and see what will happen. What will happen? Will it be Vicar? Sorry. Will it be Gisselodian or will it be Felix? It's going to be Gisselodian! Gisselodian's done it! What a way to finish this race! Absolute drama! Gisselodian gets P4. P5, sorry. Felix gets the P6, 1 position ahead of his teammates Wiggles and EKG, the final driver to cross the line in P8. Hello, Maggie.
Okay, I'm here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Well done on the result today, leading into turn 1, so that must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was the only fight all race. I thought I was just, well, a leisurely stroll.
Yeah, in the end, it just kind of became a procession race until, obviously, at the end, Felix ran out of fuel. So
We did, yeah.
very interesting end.
No, I found out there was just wasn't enough fuel on, so it was a case of I need to lift and coast, but I think a lot of them would try and do that anyway.
Hey Dan, brilliant result today, well done.
Well done, Dan. Only exciting was turn 1 and 2. I thought that was kind of like, nah.
I'll let you see that this moment.
I thought that was the only fun we had all race. After that was a case of yeah. Yeah, and then trying to save fuel. Actually, I think we both did it, to be honest. It's like oh, there's no safety car, can't save fuel. I best slow down and drift and just coast.
Yeah, I noticed you both lost like a load of time.
Yeah, because I could tell, because I'm trying to keep the same amount of time, like 6 seconds or whatnot. So I knew I was coasting. I think Dan's coasting as well.
Wait, where do we go? Oh, showroom.
I didn't push till like 3 laps from the end. Before that was 10 laps of just coasting. That's all I was doing.
Right, we'll begin interviews now then. Sorry for interrupting you. Right. Beginning with you then, Reggie. So how do you feel that race went for you?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, like I said, it mostly wasn't the best race to see because we all just panned out, we just all left alone, but it was just, I think it was just good to just get that bit of practice in, having no one around you, and you're just doing your own thing. You can just bide your time. I mean, for anyone that watched, do apologise for the lack of racing that actually happened. Yeah, I mean, it turned out a bit of a procession at the end of the day, but I think it's good for all of us to just have that bit of time where nothing's going on. You can just find your own balance and just relax. Because, like I say, the pit stops, everyone just went in at the same time. It's just like, okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you know, decent results. I never knew I was never going to catch Dan anyway. He's dropped some more sandbags on the way. So just relaxing, just took me time, just enjoying myself, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, towards the end, I mean, from like lap 5 to 10, towards the end, it really just became a bit of a procession with the top 3. I mean, there wasn't much fighting. There was obviously that big fight at the first bit. Yeah,
we're all that spaced out. There was no need for it. I mean, a few of us practice, some don't. You can physically see who doesn't practice, and it was, like I say, it's just one of those races where everyone's just so spread out. I mean, if there was more of us, then it'd be totally different, but there wasn't. So yeah, it was just a case of, yeah. So the thing at the end of it was just a case of getting around the track and not spinning. That was it.
That's a fair point. Well then, on to you, Dan. Brilliant race today. I mean, leading every lap, getting pole. I don't know how to say it, but it was the... How do you say it? The Grand... whatever it is. Yeah, that. Yeah, How do you feel like the lap 1 went for you? Obviously having the big fight with Maggi here, and it didn't go to plan, obviously. It just kind of became a procession in the end. Yeah.
I will admit, I had to try and go for it off the line because I was such a launch.
I got a terrible view of it. I thought I can't go on board with anyone because if I do, it'll have to be someone at the back. It's really annoying. It's like a glitch now or something. You always get spawned at the back. But brilliant race from the pair of you, nonetheless. I don't have much else to add. Yeah. I think I'd usually be able to add a bit more. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Biff says, can you invite him?
I got that tied with the race. I was actually having a kip while going round, just closing my eyes on the straights.
Having a little sleep on the straights.
I might as well. I'd say,
Yeah.
you know, it mostly wasn't great viewing for anyone else, so I apologise to anyone else watching. You know, attendance has just not been the best anywhere. Hopefully we change. Oh, he's electric when he doesn't spin it.
Oh, Podge has probably still got Zandvoort PTSD.
The best race out of a pod so far was Jeddah. Because honestly, I was keeping up with him for the entire race.
Dan, Biff says, can you add him, please? Because it won't let me. Cool, thank you. What car was Biff? Same as you, Alpine. Yeah. Hi Biff.
Hello.
Yeah, that was not very interesting to say the least. How?
Really?
Yeah.
No, not really. It was,
There wasn't many fights.
I think the lack of drivers was probably a big part of that.
Yeah. Right, how do you feel the race went for you?
Very surprising, to be honest with you. I weren't very confident coming into this race. I said to my mates early doors that it's not one of my favourite sites. But I got a great start, to be honest with you. Went from 7th to 4th.
Yeah.
Just before the first corner, got comfortable, went a bit wide, EKG took over me, then obviously later on made a nice move on him, and then it was basically try defend for the majority of it. Apparently had a bit of contact with EKG, I think he nudged the back of me and span, and then it was just basically trying to maintain some form of time on the Vicar after that.
Yeah, towards the end it really did just become a bit like Monaco, to be fair. I mean, there was no overtaking, nobody could get past.
No, there was a lot of space, like a lot of time got like gaps opened up quite a lot, so it was a bit of a boring race really towards the end.
Yeah. Towards the end, Giselodian had run out of fuel, so I'd assume that would be a no safety car issue.
Well,
I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Banham as well also had run out of fuel. He was screaming over the mic that he's run out of fuel.
Oh, I can imagine the scenes.
But I suppose if you underfuel your car, you're expecting it's GP4, you're expecting at least one safety car, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the better way we're going to get more safety cars on GP1.
But overall, it was a great race. Well, formality in the end, wasn't it? My racing teammate Dan, went on to for another win, which was great. That's it.
You ain't goes on it. You ain't. You ain't closed on us that much. We've still got a chance to still win it. So I think my teammate got a 5th, so that's 28 points. I mean, you got 40, so you've only closed in on by 12 points. So it's down to 74.
Sorry, go
on. You never know.
So France, Paul Ricard next week. Just want to get your thoughts on that, and then we can wrap this up.
Straight line, speed, turns, hopefully no safety cars if the people turn up.
Sums it up. Sums it up. Short and sweet. Short and sweet. Yeah, we got France, Austria, and Silverstone remaining. Pretty sure Silverstone's the last sprint race, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, and it's a track I don't like at all.
I love Silverstone, mainly because it's my home track. I'm not biased at all, I promise.
Yeah, it's my home track as well, but I don't know. It's so that's with this game itself, with everything. It just I don't know. It's all rubbish.
Right then, we will get this wrapped up. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been SFR GP4. I have been